House prices have risen for the fourth month in a row, according to figures just released by the Nationwide. They've increased by 1.6% over August, bringing the average house price to just over £160,000.
The Nationwide says the rise is partly due to low interest rates, easing the financial burden on homeowners, but they do warn of bumpier times ahead when rates return to normal. Well, property expert Henry Pride joins us now. Should we be treating this with caution, first of all? Fourth month in a row, isn't it, that prices have gone up?
Well, I think the good news is that here's yet another indication that perhaps things are on the up. But as you rightly say, we're coming off such a low base that the beep, beep, beep that we can hear in the back of our brains is probably not the sound of estate agents on their Blackberries, but still the sound of the cardiac massage for the housing market, which is still coming out of one of the worst recessions that we've seen since the last war.
And what is affordability currently?
Well, affordability is probably the biggest issue. We've seen from these nationwide figures that average house prices of the sale price that houses are selling for is around 160,000. But there's this great gap, record gap between average sale prices and average asking prices, which according to Rightmove are around 222,000. So we can see that although the figures need to be looked at slightly differently, there's this huge gap between what people are asking for houses and what those that can afford to borrow money and buy a house are actually paying.
So is this going to get, because I mean we've done these interviews before, and the last time I spoke to somebody on it, she said, look, this sort of increase is actually only a blip. It's about the cash buyers coming in who think, look, actually I'm bored, I haven't bought a house for a year, I can't hold out any longer, I'm going to get back into the market, but they have the money to do so. And then the others, those few small people that can get the loans at the low interest rates, are dipping their toe in. But her prediction was, that the person I spoke to last week, was it's going to get worse before it gets better. So how cautious should we be? Well,
again, I think we have to be quite right. We've talked about this with Simon Jack here through the year, looking at the size of the sample that these figures come out of. 2 years ago, August 2007, we were all just learning about a building society called Northern Rock, which we had no idea of the implications were going to be. There were 5,000 houses selling every day. The low point was actually January this year, where there were only 1,000 houses selling every day. Now we're back up to about 2,600, so it's a step in the right direction. But you're quite right, we need to reserve judgment on this and be cautious. People are only able to get finance if they've got squeaky clean credit histories, and it's jolly difficult for a lot of people to get any at all. We saw figures from Charcoal and from the Council of Mortgage Lenders that 30% of homeowners with mortgages are either in or very close to negative equity. Now, that means that they can't actually take part in the market at all. So we've still got a great deal of pain to come out, but this is a step in the right direction. It's the summer, it's a reason to feel at least slightly optimistic.
OK, Henry, good to see you. Thank you very much for coming in.